Two more people joining right now. There we go. Hi, how is everybody? For those who are new on this call, my name is Dale Franklin, and this is a training for My Daily Choice. Mute that out. Okay, great. What is this call? We call this call Mondays with Dale. It's something one of my affiliates came up with a couple years ago, and it's stuck. We do this call most every single Monday unless there's a holiday or something like that. And the reason we do it is to have a couple things. Have a place for people to go for support, for to learn about how this business works. I spend the first 15 minutes or so. I'll do this kind of a quick orientation for your new people. So it kind of gives them an idea of where to go to get more information. Okay. In other words, I'm trying to give you a roadmap to success. And the other thing we do is this is all about keeping people informed, keeping the communication open. And there's, any network marketing company that's worth their salt is constantly evolving, constantly growing, constantly changing. And My Daily Choice is like that on steroids. We have 10 companies under one roof that are our own companies, and now we're starting to add companies to what we call the marketplace, which are companies that want to join us in kind of a partnership and sell their products through us. So again, that's the goal over the next few years, is to take this company to well over $1 billion in sales per year, and to do it by offering upwards to 100 or more companies that you and product lines that you can use. So because of that, you're going to want to have a place where you can stay up to date and know what's going on. And I will show you all the different areas you can go to during this first part that'll help you do that. So again, we're trying to give you that roadmap to success. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to give you my own personal phone number, which is the +1 802-343-9075. That's the +1 802-343-9075. You're more than willing to reach out to me on WhatsApp, Telegram, Viber, regular phone calls, messages, whatever way you want to. I ask you not to just up and call me when you need something without reaching out and scheduling a time first, because I am doing these calls and building my business continually, 12, 14, sometimes 16 hours a day. And so if you just call me, you might catch me while I'm doing something else and I won't be able to answer. So just reach out to me on one of the message boards and tell me you'd like to chat with me, and we'll schedule a time. So that's that. The other thing you can also do is you can reach me on Facebook and friend me on Facebook. My Facebook handle is dalefranklin.378. dalefranklin.378. If you haven't friended me yet on Facebook, feel free to do that. And then we can also talk on Messenger, okay? Facebook Messenger. So and then you're going to see that, got a couple more we're going to add here. You're going to see that there is a lot of extra value that we try to create. Jody Levanway, who's on here, is constantly sending out every night. She sends out information on what's going to be going on the next day. Okay, so if there's a corporate meeting or a special training or anything like that, you're going to know about it. Okay, so again, communication is key, and that's what we're trying to do, is give you the best communication we can. I'm going to take this just a moment here. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to take you here. This is a website that was created for me by Barbara DeZetis, another one of my affiliates that works with me. And the reason I show you this, guys, I use this to promote my own business. Okay, so you don't necessarily want to send your prospects here, okay, because they might mistakenly enroll under me, and we would fix it if it happened. But the bottom line is, I want you to have access to this material for you and for your prospects, but in a way that doesn't risk you losing anybody. So What I suggest you do is pre-register people before you bring them on here, or you're more than welcome to come on here, and anything you see on here that you want to copy and paste and put on something else on your message boards or whatever, you're more than welcome to do that. What's broken down here is who is Dale. If you want to know a little bit more about me, you can go and click on that. The opportunity blogs, which kind of give you an idea of what's coming up, gives you some ideas of, this lava java bean is one of our newest products in our marketplace. OSNAP is another one. This is a relationship mapping. It's a great training video on how to build your business with Facebook. So these are constant things that we're going to be throwing at you, so you have new stuff to learn. You can also go to over here to products and let's click on Fuel Factor X, because that's one thing that everybody in Africa has and is doing very, very well over there. If you're selling Fuel Factor X and people ask questions, you don't have to be an expert at this, but you do, I think, need to at least know where to go if somebody asks you a question or wants more information. So again, if you go to my website, you go to the products, you pick Fuel Factor X, for example. There you go. There's the logo. Here's a couple of short videos that pique their interest on the product. This one talks about the high price of fuel and how this is a great opportune time to be selling a product like FFX. This one tells you a little bit more about what FFX does. Then you also have this right here. You have a slideshow that you can work on, and it goes down through and tells you a lot about the business, and you could use this to promote the business if you wanted to. Okay. Then you go down a little bit further. Here we have frequently asked questions and the answers to them. We have a couple testimonials that one of them is myself. Another one is Chris Robinson talking about how the product has worked for us. And then for the real technical people, the people that want to, those engineer types, the ones that always want to know how everything works, the type of people that, if they get a new toy, they're going to break it down into pieces to see how it works, and then hopefully they can put it back together. Well, here you have the commercial white papers, which is all kinds of information on the product. You can come down here further, and here is the D975 diesel fuel specification test, which has just tremendous amount of data in there that the engineer types are going to love. And then here's the material safety data sheets that show you how to store the product, everything you really need to know about that, okay? Storage and safety issues and all that. And then you come down here further, and we have a bunch of these basically they're tests. These are carbon mass balance test procedures. Talks about what we did as far as testing some of these vehicles. We actually have machines that we rent that can go and take the exhaust from the product, exhaust from the vehicles, and tell how much the product got burned, how much of it was released into the atmosphere, how much it reduced emissions, how much more efficient the vehicle ran. So again, these are great tests, especially for the the real scientific types, and there's several of those. So that is what happens when you come here and choose FFX. I got a couple of people I got to bring on here. Go. And then we go to connections. Now, this is the most important thing as far as I'm concerned, because this gives you and your team access to so many different places they can go to learn about our products, learn about our how we train people, get you connected with different teams, so you can start building that relationship with different trainers, different affiliates. Just become friends. I have made so many phenomenal friends just by going into these groups and chatting back and forth and getting information from them. The great thing about these is if you're shy and are afraid to ask questions, well, there's odds are somebody's going to ask the question you're looking for sometime in the very near future anyway. Or, again, these are all friends. These are family. These are people that are working, trying to do the same thing you are, and they're going to welcome you with open arms and give you the chance to build your business. You come down through here, you can sign up under my emails. And so you get some more information from us that way. you can come into here and you can join our Telegram groups. If you don't have Telegram, right over here, you see this Telegram application. You can click on that and you will be able to join the Telegram groups. And then you come down here and see what the groups are. Okay, this is the Dale Franklin Network Telegram channel. You can join that. You can join My Daily Choice latest news. It comes right from corporate. You can join the new Fun Chat on Telegram, which is FUN stands for Freedom Unified Network, and it's one of our groups of affiliates. And again, we have throughout the company, we have a lot of these different groups of people that are training for their team, and many of them invite people from cross teams to come and join too. So then we have our WhatsApp groups, which is so prominent in Africa. We have the Dale's information funnel, which is really a really good one. We have MDC Africa 2.0. We have the special Africa notices. Tremendous amount of information, guys. You can get just by reaching out here, watching the conversations go on, or asking questions or making comments. Then we have Facebook. You can join my Facebook page there, and then of course, if you're already in Facebook, you can join a lot of these groups. You got the Fun House of Brands, Fun Training. We have Team We, which is Chris Bailey's team. Many of you know Chris Bailey because him and I do a opportunity presentation for FFX every single Thursday. And then we have the WIN testimonials and the WIN network. WIN stands for Who Is Next. And that is another group of basically everybody underneath Chris Robinson. And again, a great group to be part of. The testimonial group is wonderful because there's so many recorded testimonials in there of people that are using our products. And some of them, people really get emotional when they're talking about how something helped them maybe relieve their pain or give them help them save money or whatever it might be. And when you see people telling their testimonials and maybe there's tears running down their face, I mean, those are the type of things that really help you to sell, because people understand and see the emotion, and they become believers in our products. So then you have, I'm going to come back to YouTube in just a minute. We're going to come down here to Zoom. These are Zoom meetings that happen every single week. We have on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have the Power Push, the Fun Power Push, which is 30 minutes of short activities. You might spend 5 minutes wishing people on Facebook happy birthday that or you might take another 5 minutes and reach out to new people that you want to friend. So I mean, it's very calculated as far as doing things that can help you grow your business and expand your network. So you want to reach out and join that. And of course, you can see that these we have all the links here, so you can easily go on and click the link. The passwords are there if you need them. You can go right on. So that, and the times are there for, on this particular one, 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time, which is 6 p.m. Kenya time, 5 p.m. South Africa time, 4 p.m. Congo and Nigeria time. So again, we're just trying to give you all the information we can so you can get connected. On Mondays, most every Monday there's a presentation by Josh Weigel. Actually, we got to change that. I believe it's now every Monday at 1 o'clock. So, but again, there's Josh Weigels, who's the CEO of our company. He does a kind of a state of the business type of meeting every week. Then we have this meeting we're having right now, Monday with Dale. There's the link for that and the password if you need it. So again, it gives you the times. Then we have coming up right after this, we're going to have the ongoing weekly AkashX training for people who want to learn more about our AkashX business. So, and there's a link and everything for that. And that'll actually just roll right from this call right into the next one. It's the same address, the same everything. Then we record these and we break them up into the Mondays with Dale and the ongoing weekly AkashX training. And we send those out within a day or two, so people who didn't get on still have access to watching them. And then, if you're in Africa and you want to get up really early in the morning or stay up really late at night, you can join the Freedom Unified Network Monday onboarding call, which is also recorded, and we can send that to you if you need it. Then again, Wednesdays, the Power Push again. Thursdays is Chris Bailey and myself doing our Feel Factor X presentation. Guys, we're doing the work. All you have to do is invite people to this call, invite them there and let them get to know us and get to know the product. And then just get back to them and close out the sale, whether it be a customer or whether it be an affiliate. So let us do the work for you. All you have to do is become a master inviter. Then in the evening there on Thursdays, we also have a fun party, MDC business party. But again, that's really late for the African market. So if you want to come on it, you're more than welcome to. But it's probably a tough call for most of you to get on that. And then Fridays, again, the power push. And then one Saturday every month, we do a super Saturday, which is about 90 minutes long. This one's going to be this coming Saturday, the 17th. We have a group of leaders that get on there, and each one speaks for 10, 12 minutes and gives you a lot of different ideas on how to build a business. It's a great training. It's got a lot of energy. And we have, Chris Robinson usually hosting it. He does a fantastic job doing that. So again, I've never had anybody come to a Super Saturday that said that they didn't get something out of it. Then we're going to go back up here real quick to YouTube. And here is, guys, if anything you need to build this business is on here. There's over 200 videos that we've done over the last few years. They're on there. We can go to playlists, and it's broken down by we got a Akashics training that we just started putting that in there. It's going to have all the Akashics training videos in there. We got other training. We got Spanish subtitles. We got opportunity presentations. We've got the compensation plan. We got French subtitles, Ukrainian subtitles, Swahili subtitles. So a lot of different ways for you to build. But the one I think is the most important is this one called Starter Set. If you go to this, there's 8 videos on there, and they will help you build your business. The first one is a full opportunity presentation by Chris Bailey, talks about all our products. The next one is one by Chris and myself talking about FFX. Then there's another one, the intro to Akashics, for people who want to know about that. And another one for High Life Travel, talking about our prepaid travel savings. Those are the ones that are most important for Africa, because those are the 3 products that we have in Africa right now. We'll be adding more, but we have to show the world that we can build these, and then we'll be able to canvas for more. You have back office training right here. That'll be changing very soon because our company is upgrading their back office again, doing a great job of always giving us everything that we need to build. And then relationship mapping training, which I talked about a few minutes ago. That's about how to build your business using Facebook, building teams of Facebook friends. So you have people you're working together that you know, you love, and you respect. So it's a great concept on how to build. And I think that's one of the most valuable videos everybody should watch. And then Chris Bailey does compensation plan training, and then he does advanced compensation plan training, which talks about how to maximize your income by helping your team maximize theirs. So that's that. I'm going to stop this right here. And we're going to move on to the next part of the business. Today, we are very fortunate today. We have a guest that's going to speak, Sue Ariella. She is let me just tell you a little bit about her. She's new to MDC, but not to network marketing. In fact, she says she's only worked for an employer for 4 months in her whole life. I think a lot of us would like to say that, right? She has, the rest of the time, she's been building teams all over Africa. And that's what she's going to talk about, I think, today. As she says, she wishes she had taken the time to learn about MDC before, but now she's trying to make up for lost time. She's really excited about the business. She's an international expansion leader, which means she's going to be working in multiple countries and multiple areas of the world. I'm sure she's going to be making ranks at a rapid pace over the next several months, because I know what she's done in the past. I know from learning about her, she's had huge teams and built all over. And I'm excited about having her as part of our team. And I think you're going to enjoy hearing about what she's done in the past, what she has plans for the future, and just enjoy her incredible energy. So Sue, are you on the call?
Yes, I am, Dale. Thank you.
Hi, Sue. How are you?
I'm very good, Dale. How are you today?
I am good. I am good. You know, I told you what we're going to do here is we're going to start off. We're going to, we call it an interview, but it's really just two friends chatting. And then once we get through that, then you've been gracious enough to say you'll give us some training today on how you build your team. So I'm really looking forward to that. But first of all, I would love it if you could take a little time to tell us about your life before MDC. Tell us what your life has been like as you've come through from maybe getting out of high school and deciding to what you're going to do with your life and bring us up to date.
Okay, Dale. So it goes way back, you know. Um, After high school, I was always I was always very ambitious. I've always been very ambitious, reaching for the stars. That's my life story, right? And I've never allowed myself to be put down by anything. Like, I believe I can do it all. I don't really believe anything's impossible. I mean, people have done crazy things, you know, people have done things, huge things. And I feel like I'm destined to do big things, and we all are. So I went for a network marketing presentation. I responded to an advert in a paper, classified, and said make about $100 extra a week. And I was looking for a job, or I thought I was, and I was so excited. So I went there with my best friend, and we sat there, and there was a presentation, and it all sounded so good. And then he said two things. The first thing he said it was the startup, I think, was about $80 at the time, which was a lot of money for a young person, and I didn't know where I was going to get that money, but I was so excited. And he said, put up your hand. If you don't have that money, just let me know. And we said, okay. And he said, if you don't have the money, you really need this business. If you don't have the money to start, you really need this business. And it got me thinking. And then the second thing he said was that network marketing is the only place where you have a blank check at the end of the month, and it's up to you to put whatever figure. And that was so exciting for me. So I went through, of course, after school, I went to college, but I always had this in my mind. So every other thing I did, I'm in property agency, but I'll still go back to network marketing. I always say it's in my DNA, but it was because of that training, because I went for that, and they told me this is what it was. So now, before MDC, I've been with other network marketing companies. I've had some success, but then I feel like I did not reach my full, like I'm excited to get back because I feel like it's time to reach my full potential. I thought I was completely done, but here we are, and I'm back and I'm ready for this.
That's fantastic. Now, I know from hearing from you before that I know Stephen had been reaching out to you about doing this business, and you kind of like put him on the shelf there for a while and said, yeah. And but when he finally got you to sit down and hear what we had to offer, tell us what you thought.
Yeah, that's true. Stephen had been trying to get me, and we always say we'll have our story. We'll write a book together, I think. And I mean, it's a long story, and I'll give it another day. But yes, I did get to listen, and Stevie now finally got to tell me, but it was at the right time. Because you see what happens sometimes, people can tell you about things, but sometimes you're clouded with other things, and it's just not the right time. And I tell people sometimes it's not really rejection. It's that it's the wrong time, maybe in their life. They're just not ready for it at that point. But I was ready. And this time I listened. And I couldn't believe that this was a company I'd heard about, but I had not really heard. I mean, you can be sitting there, but I had not really taken the time to listen. And all it took, I mean, I listened and I was sold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long when you are ready. That's something you said that I learned a long time ago is people sometimes, you talk to different people about this business, prospects, and some of them become customers right off the bat, some of them become affiliates right off the bat, and a lot of them say no. But it's not, to me, it's never no forever, it's no for now. Because
Exactly.
some people have got to watch you for a while and see how well you do before they're willing to join. And other people, as you said, it was just not your time. You had things going on, you had other things going, and you weren't ready to focus on something new. And so when you hear the word no, you should never never feel bad about that. A no is just saying no, not right now.
Exactly.
The some of the things I just wrote here is what drew you the most to MDC once you started looking at it? Was it the products themselves, the company culture, the comp plan, the mentorship? What really kind of drew you in once you saw what we had to offer?
Honestly, Dale, it wasn't just one thing. So I can't even tell you the order in which it was. I was just amazed by everything. The company culture, I just loved it. I loved that this was an existing company, and I loved that it had been there for a while. Because many times people want to get on board things which are just startups. But then, I'm scared of a startup because I don't know. I don't want to be the experiment. I don't want to be the guinea pig anymore. Not at this point in my life. Okay. So the fact that this company has existed for some years and they have not just survived but thrived even during the COVID time, that for me was one of the things. Another thing was the leadership. I just loved it. I just loved everything about it. I loved these calls. I would get on the calls and I'd hear everything. And then the products, because I'd been in the health space before, selling nutritional products for a long time. I loved the nutrition. I love the health products, even though we don't have some of them in Africa. I loved and I understood the product, okay, and how powerful it is. But then coming down to my favorite, of course, what is Fuel Factor X. I think it's an excellent product, and it's come at a super time. So in the midst of all the madness and fuel prices going crazy and everything, I mean, there's such a huge opportunity. And that's why for me, the minute I heard about Fuel Factor X, all I needed to know is that it works. And look, this product has existed. So all I needed to know is that it works. And once I knew that, I was sold. So it's everything. I don't know if I've said all of them, but there are several things. I also, it's the digital, it's a modern, like it's with the times. It's a company that's going with the times. Being like Amazon, like the whole new idea of having different brands. It's such a new it's so super. I mean, it's the way to go. Many companies are not surviving through this period, and if we can have those super brands and we can sell multiple products, that was also a huge thing for me. That was huge.
You're right. If you were a one product company and you didn't have the right product during the pandemic, you were dead. We have a travel company, and it got hurt during the pandemic, just like all travel companies. But the travel company is just one of our brands, not our only brand. You take a company like World Ventures, where that was their only brand. We had a company that went from being $1 billion a year company to bankrupt in a year. So you can never rest on your laurels. And that's what I love about our company. We don't. They're constantly updating the back office, updating the training, creating new product lines, doing everything they need to do for us to have new excitement, new energy in our company all the time. I just want to take a second here and mention the fact that what you said about some of the products you really want, but we don't have in Africa yet. We have the 3 fastest growing product lines right now in Africa. We have our FFX, we have the AkashX for people who want to deal in cryptocurrency and Forex and all that. And then we do have High Life Travel, which now that people are traveling again is really doing very, very well. So those are the 3, but we have tons of other brands that we're going to be adding to it. What we have to do is the African market is we just have to show MDC in the world that we can blow the market up that we have with the 3 brands we have, and then I can go back there and say, hey, look what we've done. Let's add more. So we're in that stage right now where we just have to kind of prove that we're an incredible market. I know that Africa is an incredible market. You know it. We just have to prove to the world that it is. Okay. So next question, and I'll let you get into your training. But what specific thing or things do you feel added to your current success? Okay, is what I'm going to just list some, and then you can take it from there. But you know, there's so many things that certain people I've learned that are true leaders have. You know, they have a great mindset. They stay organized. They're fearless when it comes to recruiting, and I know you are too. It's proper follow up, having access to the inventory, ease of purchase, ease of delivery, great training, or something else. What do you equate to your one or two things that you personally think equate to your success in the years you've been in network marketing?
Dale, I think it's even just talking about MDC where I am. I mean, it's less than 2 months now, but then I think it would apply for all. And number one would be support, a support system. Yeah. And when I say support system, I just mean like training. I mean inventory, like you said, there is availability of product. Because that's one thing that I think people, it's limiting if you have a product, but it's not available. I mean, we have the products here in plenty, and I established that. And then the leadership. So I just feel even with the local team, I just felt like there's a lot of synergy. We can work together. And then, of course, things like a space to work from. You know, I just feel like I'm enabled, and I feel like we have no excuses here. You know, people do these businesses even without certain things in place, but we have everything in place. So there's no excuses. So I think for me, I'm one of those people like, no excuses. I don't wait. As long as, it's open, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to push it. I push. And like you said, I have become, fearless. I'm going to go out there. Like, I don't get into something. And I think that would be one of the things. I don't get in with like one foot, I just get in with both feet. Like, I get in completely. When I'm in, I'm all in. For me, that is it, If I decide to do it, when I came here, I was somewhere else. Everyone is somewhere else before they come here, right? Everyone is somewhere else or somewhere else. And I remember the first days, I was like, no, I'm a leader somewhere, or I'm a this. But when you're all in, it's just a matter of time. And you're all in. And then another one I want to add, I think also is, for me, what drives me, it will always be your why. For me, it is my why, my reason, and I have several, but that keeps driving me. You've got to be driven, So if there's something, if you have a need or a desire, or you want to leave a legacy or do something, then you get all in. No excuses.
And you proved that years ago when you first got into network marketing. I loved when you told the story about how you flew into Nigeria and started working the Nigerian and Ghana market with knowing no one, absolutely no one, and you built a huge team. That's when that's when I knew that, to me, one of your most powerful attributes is the ability to be fearless, and you were, and I'm sure you had plenty of no's. I'm sure you had plenty of obstacles, and you didn't let them slow you down, and you just barreled forward and to success. And sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to, when you hear people giving you negative comments or telling you no or whatever, you just push them away. You push them away, and you just keep focused and keep focused on the prize. As you said, your why. Having a strong why and knowing no matter what happened, you're going to get to that point where you're going to be able to take care of what your why was. So that those are the questions I really wanted to ask you today. I want to give you plenty of time so you can do your training. So at this point in time, I'm gonna turn it over to you, and please give us train us, give us some benefits from your experience, and help the rest of us to see how we can benefit in the same ways.
Okay, thank you so much, Dale. I just want to finish. There was something you said that I thought it was very powerful.
Sure.
When you said that this platform, allows us with different products. Already we have 3 in our market, and there's so many more and so many coming in. And I just wanted to mention again, I found myself during COVID, during the height of COVID, I traveled to West Africa, to Nigeria in February of 2020 with a sole purpose of building my business, which was in the travel industry. Okay. So I took a plane again and I left. And a month later, in March of 2020, we got locked down. And so it was that thing, one product, and the whole world is shutting down, and there's nothing you can do, and you have to accept this isn't working. So here, that is not going to arise because we've got all sorts of products. So this is really, really super. No excuses. Yeah. So, okay. So let me start with the training. I just want to, today we're talking about building a global business. Yeah. And I'll refer a lot to my own story, and it may not be exhaustive, but then I think it will have a lot of points. And I do a lot of the things I do from experience because I've been out there, and I'm learning, of course. The learning journey does not end really as long as you're still breathing. But this is, a few points I think I have. So building a global business, building your global business, building my global business. At this point, I'm assuming that if you're on this call, if you've made the decision that you're going to do this, I'm assuming that you've decided that this is the business that you're going to do. Whatever business it is, you've done your due diligence, you've done your background checks, and now we are at the point where we are building. We've started. I say you must own the business. We start, number one, own the business. Step up and take control of your business. You must own it. There must be a sense of ownership. It is your business. It is my business. Okay. And I say, do it with everything that you've got. Just be all in. That's the best way to say it. You've got to be all in. If you really want to be successful, you've got to be all in. And all in doesn't mean that you can't do something else, or no, but I mean focused. You've got to be focused. And if you've decided this is what you're going to do as your business, then just do it. Okay. Someone said, if you treat your business, treat it as a hobby, and it will pay you as a hobby would. Okay. Yeah. But if you treat it with a seriousness and treat it as a business, then it should pay you the way a business would. Now, a lot of time, I don't know what it is about network marketing or multi-level marketing, referral marketing, direct selling. People don't take it seriously, and we've got to change that. Look, people work 9 to 5. We say 9 to 5, but then in Africa, it's not even 9 to 5, guys. It's not even 8 to 5. You get up, to beat the traffic, you have to be up maybe at 5 a.m. in the morning, 5:30, start the journey before 7, before traffic starts building, and you're getting home maybe at 7, if you're lucky, or 8 p.m. So all those hours you're out there, and people will do this for years. People will do this for 20 years. People will do this for 30 years. And at the end of it, sometimes, and we've seen it a lot. I don't know about the situation in the US, but I can tell you in Africa, it is something where people retire and the quality of life after retirement is nothing compared to where they were. So they are supposed to, so you have to, like, your quality of life goes down, and then a lot of things come in, and health issues, and it's just a lot of stress because now you're supposed to survive on much less. But look at this, it is so interesting. And then you tell people, look, in network marketing, you can just sacrifice 5 to 6 years and maybe put in 5 if you're, okay, maybe if you're doing it full time, put in 5 to 6 hours a day, put in 5 hours a day for 5 years and make a difference. And people are not willing to do that just because it's network marketing. And yet they were dedicated and committed and were beating traffic, and going through that and doing that for 20 years. So then that's why I'm saying, own your businesses, give it the seriousness it deserves, and it will definitely pay. It will definitely be rewarding. So for me, that's my first one, own your business, okay? And then, of course, owning your business so that what? So that you can build a legacy. Then you'll be successful. That's number one. Number two, said don't look up, not literally, but don't look up, look down. Yeah, you're building down, because many times in network marketing, you're like, oh, what can I get? What can I get? What can I get? What can I be given? But instead of doing that, why don't you see what you can give your people? A lot of people will be like, oh, you mean if I join this business, you're going to earn? No, when I joined, when I get into a company, I'm looking at what I can give to my team, the people I've brought in, and not so much what can I get? What can I get? What can I keep getting? It's about the people who are below you. When I first went to Nigeria, I first went there in 2014, I remember. It's so interesting because I was in a company and it was doing quite well in East Africa. And the thing is, I think I got onto that plane, my upline did not even know I was going. You see, I got into the business already owning the business and deciding I'm going to be successful in that business. It wasn't about anybody else. The opportunity came up and I was going to take it. And it was not dependent on anyone. Okay. So I went over there, and in the first 1.5 years that I was there, I think we hardly communicated. But yes, I was below him and I was building a team, you know. And even when we meet today, we have a good relationship. There's no issue. We said there's no beef, you know. I was self-driven. And anytime we are coming into a business, everyone is looking for someone like that, someone who will just be self-driven and run with the business. Yeah. So I say, look down, look at your people below, and instead of looking up all the time, for help and for things like that. And when you look down, remember, you're taking genuine interest in your people. Looking down means so many things. It means you're taking, but remember, it's a business of people. It's a people business. So when you show genuine interest and find out what's going on, what the challenges are, what's going on, you find you're building loyalty as well. So you're looking down and there's so much going on because people can tell when you're genuinely interested. Okay. And when you're looking down, you'll also see where the challenges are, right? You'll see where what needs to happen. Sometimes it just takes a little twitch, just changing something, and someone who just seemed like they were stagnant, you just see growth and you're amazed. And many times it's because you've taken personal interest. And just like Dale, you were saying, when you're reaching out to people, it's so important because sometimes it may not even be the people that you brought in. It may not even be the people that they brought in. You might find it on your 5th, on your 6th level, but wherever you see there's interest and desire to grow, work with those people. So look down and not up. Okay. All right. Yeah, number 3. Let's go to number 3. Number 3 is commitment. It is a word, but it's such a powerful thing. And you've got to be disciplined. You've got to be committed. This business, if you're doing this business, it's not an afterthought. It's not something that you've got to be committed. Committed means you're dedicating time to this. You're there, you're present. See, like Daily's on this call. And you every week you're here. And not just once a week, it's several times a week. You read out the whole schedule for us, and we see you're on the call. You're on the call, you're present, you're there, we can see you, and that is so important. So guys, people, first of all, let's talk about the calls. It's all in commitment. Let me tell you, you've got to be on the call, because a lot, especially since COVID, we've realized that we can do Zoom calls. So I know face-to-face is everything. Face-to-face, nothing can replace that. That's powerful. But when you can't do that, and when you can't actually meet, you can actually do these Zoom calls, which I think are the second most powerful thing after face-to-face. So Zoom calls, and the beauty about Zoom calls, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Look how we are connecting from different parts of the world now, right? So you have a wider reach. But then, how do you invite someone to a call and you're not there? I always say, if you're not going to be on the call, don't bother inviting them. Your people actually look out for you. Most of them are on the call because of the respect that they have for you. They're just coming onto the call. There's something about you that made them, come onto the call. So if you're inviting them, you better be on the call. And then another thing that people don't like to do, and I know people, there are different reasons, I worked with someone who said, turn on your camera. You can be the one who's presenting. You don't need to be the one who's presenting. But guys, let me tell you, it's the most powerful thing when you invite people to a call and they don't have to scroll through. Because remember, on a call like this, people are joining the business for different reasons. There are some who are listening to the presenter. There are people who are taking time to go through the name list and who's on the call. There are others who are going through the pictures and looking at who's on the call. And when they see you and you've invited them to the leader, then they feel like it's serious, like you're there, you're present. So I can't overemphasize this as much as possible. And I know I also don't do it all the time. Turn your camera on. I was with one company, I remember, and we had a leader and he was doing things like a 90-day, it was a 90-day, can't find the word, but like a 90-day program where we go through every day. And without fail, every day at a certain time, he would be on the call for the whole duration. And you'd see him and he would say, Sue, and we were a few of us, and he'd say, turn on your camera. I want to see you. Yeah. So seeing the person does two things. It's good for the one who's presenting because then he sees, okay, people are responding. He can see the body language. He can gauge and see if his audience or her audience is understanding. But number two, and most importantly, is that the audience, you who's on the call, you are present. And so you see the way I'm sitting here, there are so many distractions. If I put off my camera, right? Someone calls me, you've come home in the evening, the children are calling, there's whatever, there's dinner, so you put it off and you're doing other things. But what you don't know is that you're missing so much that with the distraction. But when your video is on, it almost forces you to be there. So you'll be there, you'll be present. And you learn so much from that. So as much as possible, when you come onto the call, if you just try it for like a week, try it for 2 weeks, and you'll see the difference. Be there, turn on your camera, sit and be on the call, invite your people and just see the difference. Because it does make a difference. I am certain of it. Yeah, be there. So, okay. And then I think that if you're listening, if you're on the call, we're still talking about commitment. And you see, you're also learning and you're getting something, because when you're on that call, every time I listen and I'm sitting here, I'm always learning. Every presentation that Dale has done, that Chris has done, I mean, it's amazing. There's always something that I'm getting in, but I'm free from distraction. If this call, if I'm off and my camera is not on, or there are calls coming in, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to invite people, there's a call, but when I'm sitting here, it's very difficult to do that. Yeah. So I stay focused for the duration and I pick up so much. Okay. That was my point number 3. So I want to go to my point number 4. Think out of the box. Think you're building a global business. There is no formula. Well, you can read books, you can hear people's stories, but look, you can be creative. And that's the beauty about our industry. It allows you to think outside the box. Yeah. You don't have to go a certain way. Your way could be different. We all have different stories to tell, but think out of the box. Be creative. You don't have to wait for people to tell you how to do your business. Like now with Fuel Factor X, there's so many ideas. There are so many groups of people that need this product. There's so many ways to go about the business. So you need to think out of the box. Yeah. Take time and think out of the box. And then also, as you're thinking out of the box, be open to learning. Listen to people's stories, listen to people who've gone before you, listen to people who've had success, in the industry, and just get ideas and implement them. So think out of the box. Okay. Let's see. For example, let me do it with examples. Let's say now here, yeah, Jamal, you think out of the box, right? Like now, we are hearing about this is a digital age, and we're hearing about things like TikTok and things, and some of us were late to the plate, but then guess what? We can catch up. If it's going to help me do my business and reach people, I'm going to do whatever it takes. Okay. And as you're thinking out of the box, And I'm saying learn. You know, there's no end to learning. Sometimes you learn even from your children. You learn from the younger people. And I say, look, if you want to know the real experts with digital marketing and all these things, it is your sons, your daughters, your nieces, and those of you who are blessed with grandchildren. I mean, it is those people. They know what is going on. Thank you, Jody. They know what's going on. They are lit. We call it lit. You know, they are with the times. I remember talking to my niece and she'd be like, but Auntie Sue, are you on Instagram? You know, and I'm like, Instagram. I told her, yeah, I think I have an account, but I haven't logged into it for like 1 year. And she laughed. She's so amused. And she's like, please share your handle. And I say, handle? What is that? What is handle? You know? But then I'm learning that there's no end to learning. You've got to be creative. You cannot use the old methods and only those to get to the next level. Times are changing. Think out of the box. Do what you need to do to get where you need to go. Okay? So think out of the box. And then, you know, like in Africa, we have the culture where, you know, we respect, very important, and it's awesome. We respect the older people. But guess what? It's so interesting. In this digital age, it's not a respecter. The times we are in, they are not a respecter of age. Someone can tell you, no, I'm older than you and I know it all. Actually not. We are learning so much from the younger generation. They are the ones during COVID who are making the millions. They are the ones who are getting onto YouTube, onto TikTok, and making the money that some of us have taken 10 or 20 years to make, okay? So they have ideas. So get to them. Our leader in Kenya, Stephen, is always saying, you know, let's involve these young people. Let's get these guys on board. You know, it's going to make a difference, guys. Don't leave them out, okay? This is a different sort of company. This is a different time. We are in different times. So you need to move with the times, yeah? And think out of the box, okay? All right. So let's go to, I'm sorry, I've not really looked at the charts, but I'm seeing them coming through because I'm just trying to keep my time. I know I have a few more minutes. Okay. So back to that, what we had started on the TikTok and all these things, make use of social media. You're building a global business. Make use of social media. And remember, you don't have to be an expert. I've never gone to school for these things. Yeah. You just start somewhere. Surely, most of you have WhatsApp. We are communicating here. You got this link because what it was sent to you on WhatsApp. Yeah. So WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. Yeah. Email. Let me give you a short story. Back in, I think, 2014, I was looking, my company at the time was expanding to West Africa. And we were in East Africa, and they were expanding to West Africa. And I wanted to build a global team. I had a desire to grow beyond my borders. And I said, okay. So what I did at that time, WhatsApp was not even like so popular, but I just went to Google. So it was just, I just thought about it. I was no expert. And I went to Google and I just started, you know, I Googled different countries. I said, Ghana, you know, this country, Nigeria, you know, Uganda, and I Googled Ghana and I checked network marketing, contact me on. And you know, Google it leads you, like you can ask, you can put something and it gives you results. So I say, contact me on, and I found numbers. And not just numbers, it was too hard for me to call at that time. It was expensive. I found email addresses because at that time it was email. And even now, email is very effective, by the way, because an email is professional and it's formal. And there are people who will read emails. So I sent out, in a few days, I sent out about 30 emails, cold calling to people I did not know. Now, out of those 30, just one responded. And he was in Ghana. Just one responded and he said, I want to do this business. To cut a long story short, in that business that we were in, he became the biggest producer in Africa. He did the biggest volumes in Africa. And I met him after 1 year of him being in my team, after 1 year. And just because I sent 30 emails and he's the only one who responded. So how many times are you reaching out to people? Are you even doing the work? Are you sending out any emails? Are you sending out any WhatsApp messages? How are you doing this? And as you're doing it, please remember, address a person. Don't send forwards. We are so tired of getting forwards. A forward, you know, it even says forwarded many times. And you see it's been forwarded to you, and just no, address them. If you get their name, say, hi, Chris. Hi, George. Hi, Dale. Try and address it and make it personal. It makes a huge difference. Okay. Now, let's go to number 6. I'm about to be done. I have 8 points. Number 6, I said there's no time like the present. Quit with the excuses. Nike said, do it now. Sorry, just do it. Just do it. And my mentor used to say, do it now with a sense of urgency. Just do it. Quit with the excuses. Or, you know, there'll never be a perfect time. You may never have all the resources, but use what you have at your disposal. For me, I make myself a brand. With whatever I have right now, I will start. And so I'm asking you, start where you are, but start now. Okay? Because if you don't, you'll keep saying, oh, you know, I need to get this right first. I need to put money together first for advertising. I need to make sure I have a t-shirt. I need to, I mean, all this time we are getting to the levels now is that we don't even have that. But if you start putting those things, there's something you call paralysis by analysis. You're looking at it so long, you're seeing what you can do and what you can't, and you don't start. You just don't start. A month goes by, another month goes by, and before you know it, it's the end of 2023 and you've not done anything. So start now with your whatever you've got, even if you get it wrong. And there's nothing like getting wrong. Just start. Let people correct you. Let them come and say, but start. Okay. So there's no time like the present. Yeah. And remember, time waits for no man, and time is ticking, and we cannot get back the time. That is the thing about time. We cannot get back the time. Okay. Now, number 7. Please, when you're building your global business, try and make it like, you know, put local content. Okay. So now for us in Africa, this really applies to us, because you're trying to get a lot of content. Things are coming in, you know, maybe their accents and what. I know, Dale, you guys say we have accents, but we also say you have accents. So the thing is, you know, we're like, oh, they have an accent, you know, but try and put it, even if it means putting it in your vernacular language, your mother tongue. Do whatever it takes. This is fuel factor X. Talk to people where you can reach them the way you know how to, you know, do it in your own way. It doesn't have to, you don't have to do it all with a crazy PowerPoints and it's exciting and it's out. Just make it, customize it and make it local, so that people feel that you're reachable and they feel that you understand where they're coming from. So it's so important that you get local content. Make people feel at home. Make yourself relatable. It's so important, yeah? But just make sure, don't just copy and paste things from out there, yeah? Use yourself as a brand and create local content. Very important that you do that in this very unique, very special market that we have, okay? All right. And finally, my point number 8 for today. The world is your oyster. This business allows us to do, MDC allows us to do business everywhere. Stop limiting yourself. You will be surprised. My mentor, you know, he's also American and he'd been in the industry for a long time, and he had teams in 40 countries. And I was always like, wow. And I remember back in 2014, and he was making $20,000 to $30,000 a week. And I sat, you know, and I was just like, this is amazing. And so I remember I just said to myself, you know, I'm not trying to be a local champion. Yes, it's very good to build in your own country, in your own city. Okay, but move, get out there. If you can't leave the country, get out to other cities. People need to hear this. Yeah, people everywhere need it, not just in your neighborhood. Everybody needs this. So I told myself, I'm not trying to be a local champion. I'm going to move. If this is what it takes, it's going to happen. Look, you may not have the money or the resources or the time, or maybe you're a family person and you can't just travel at will. But surely on a weekend, you can plan and go out of town, go 1 hour out of town and talk to people who have never heard about this product before. Yeah. So you can move. There's no excuse. It's very important that you build. And I'll finish with one story. In one network marketing company I was in, we traveled all the way to Uganda for a convention. And at that time, I remember we were just clapping. I remember going and sitting there, traveling all the way and spending days there and spending money and accommodation and transport and food. And we were going to clap for people who are getting on the podium. And I remember saying to myself, I'm not going to be traveling places to clap. I mean, it's good to cheer others on, but I must be one of those going up there. Okay. And I remember there was a lady, and we knew she was the top in the network. And she also was from East Africa. And we're all being celebrated at that convention in Uganda. And I remember, celebrating, and we're cheering her on until the speaker said, there's somebody else who has also achieved this high rank. And the rank, I think it was almost higher than what she was. I think it was higher. And we didn't know him. And out of the woodworks, this guy runs from the back, all dressed up in African regalia and looking so good. And he runs up from the back, and everyone is going like, who is this? We've never heard about him. And he went on stage. And can I tell you, he'd never been in the city where everything was happening. He was building around Africa all the time. Nobody knew what he was doing. He was building, he had understood, and he was building a global network, okay? And he was up there. So guys, you must build a way. And you can even build in the US. Still, we are coming over there, by the way. I remember sending messages, the same thing, emails and all sorts of things. And someone was doing auto ship from the US, and he did it for a number of years. I never even got to connect with him again. But every time I checked my genealogy, I found he was active. And it was through an advert, and I just sent a link out. Okay. So guys, the world is your oyster. Just do it. Okay. Thank you so much, Dale, for this.
Wow.
And
wow, you that was awesome. That was awesome. I mean, anybody that walks away from this call and says they didn't get anything that could help them grow their business had to been daydreaming, because that was awesome. I want to congratulate you on such a fantastic job. You did great.
Thank you, Dave.
I want to thank you. We're over just a hair, and we got our next trainer coming on for a Cash X. And but I want to take a moment and do a couple quick things. I want to say that everything you said, every one of those 8 points was just so on point. And I'm looking forward to what you're going to do over the next 6 months to a year, because anybody with your background and your mindset, wow, Africa, look out, here she comes. So